A U.S. official tells CBS News the U.S. military carried out another strike on a suspected cartel boat in the Caribbean Sea. This marks the sixth boat attack in the area since last month, but it's also the first known instance with survivors. No word from the White House yet on this latest attack, and at this point, the number of passengers and survivors, that's not clear either. The attacks come during a wider U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. The U.S. is sending 10,000 total troops to the region, and that includes 2,000 Marines, multiple warships, and fighter jets. Meanwhile, Venezuela's president claims he is now mobilizing militia members. Let's go to CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson. Eleanor, thank you so much for joining us today. What do we know about this latest strike?
Well, Mugo, as you said, it's at least the sixth known strike on a vessel in the Caribbean, and it's the first one that we know of that is thought to have survivors. We don't know who was targeted, how many survived, how many were killed, but the previous strikes in the over a month and a half have targeted alleged drug vessels, killing nearly 30 people in total. It marks kind of this expansion of the U.S. military in the Caribbean for missions targeting drug cartels that have usually been handled by the Department of Homeland Security with interdictions. As you mentioned, there is a buildup in the region and that includes about 10,000 U.S. forces either on warships or on bases in Puerto Rico. That buildup could seem a bit like overkill if these strikes remain limited to just drug boats, but President Trump has threatened over the past several weeks that the strikes could expand to not only international waters, but potentially on land.
Okay, Ellie, so I understand you have reporting on the head of the U.S. Southern Command who oversaw these strikes. What can you tell us about him?
Admiral Halsey, in a surprise move, announced he will retire early, just 1 year into what is a usually 2 to 3 year term. We learned about this first from Secretary Hegseth, who put out a statement honoring Halsey's career, and then a statement from the Admiral himself. Neither of the two men gave a reason for their early retirement. Officials tell CBS that the two men did have some tensions for a while, and at least one official suspected that the firing was going to come in the days ahead of the announcement. But this firing adds, or this retirement adds to a list of over a dozen senior military leaders who have either stepped down or been fired by Hegseth over the previous months since the Trump administration entered the White House. But this one comes at a time during this buildup in the region and will tee up a confirmation hearing in the Senate where senators can ask questions that are still pretty much unanswered about the military's goal in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Ellie Watson, thank you so much for your reporting.